Well, many people spend Sunday shopping for a new house, and if you are doing that, you've never done it before, there are some things you should know before you head outside. Kirsty Lumbar is here. She's a local realtor who can tell us all about what you can expect when you do head out the door to look for that dream home. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Well, the market hasn't been doing too well over the past year, but Austin seems like it has been even and stable. Is it still the same?
It is. It's a fairly stable market, although it's really interesting to look at statistics from this year over last year because we had an artificial stimulus last year with the first-time homebuyer tax credit. And so when you look at the numbers, they're a little bit skewed, but when you're looking at today's market, things are fairly stable depending on what area of Austin you're looking.
And the inventory, is there a lot of inventory still out there?
Actually, inventory's down a little bit. However, again, depending on the specific micro market you're looking at in the Austin area, there is inventory to be had.
Well, that's good. Now, when people are heading out the door, what should they do first rather than driving round and round, burning gas into certain neighborhoods? What should they make a map, or what should they do?
It's a good question. The first thing you want to do is make sure you have a very specific plan and ensure that number one, that you have your budget in order. You need to ensure that it's not just what you qualify for in terms of a loan, but that you're satisfying what your monthly outlay is going to be. And so you need to sit down with somebody who knows what they're doing, who can tell you exactly how much that property is going to cost. Because there's some soft side costs involved with buying a house that you may not think about, like HOA, repairs if you're buying an older home. Obviously need to think about your principal and your interest if you have a loan, and then think about your taxes. We talk a lot about property taxes in Texas, so make sure you factor that in as well.
And some people get really excited when they see a big house, a dream home that has everything included, especially a new house. Is it better to buy a new house over a house that's been around for 5 years or more?
It really depends on what your specific needs are. It can be great. There are a lot of builder incentives right now, and so oftentimes they'll pay for your closing costs, and they're doing a lot of marketing in that perspective. However, the resale market has had to keep up with buyers, and so you can oftentimes get your closing costs paid for by the seller, and a lot of buyers don't realize that. So it really levels the playing field.
And then some people look for houses based on schools, and that's really important, obviously, to people who have children. So when you are considering a school, what else should you consider in the neighborhood?
Sure. Well, it depends on what kind of amenities you're looking for. So if you're looking for something that's in close proximity, obviously, to your office or the airport, and then looking at the schools as well. And you need to work with somebody who really understands the school districts because boundary lines change quite frequently. And so you want to make sure that if that school is going to be fed to a different area the next year, that your real estate practitioner knows that. Boundary lines change on a yearly basis sometimes.
Well, that's good to know. There's a lot of inventory out there depending on the market. So when you do drive around, just take some water with you too.
Do that, yes.
And is it good to take a realtor with you when you're just looking, or when should you employ a realtor?
Well, I think that you should employ someone at the very beginning of your search process because they can really guide you in a direction that will make sure you're having a fruitful search and you're not driving around endlessly. And they can direct you where you need to be.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Great information. We'll have some information later on our website today. And if you do need information right now, go to thinkkirsty.com. We appreciate having you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.